The All-Star break had just finished and the Atlanta Hawks were, frankly, in trouble. Several games below 500 in a season where we were supposed to be an Eastern Conference dark horse. Trae Young's era in Atlanta has come to an unceremonious end, and Kristaps Porzingis turned out to be a disastrously failed experiment. The year looks like it's doomed for another play-in loss. But there is hope on the horizon, one man who can turn the ship around. All I gotta do is say the magic words, Kuminga. What is up, y'all? Welcome to Glenwood Games. I'm your host JoJo, and I want to talk to you today about Jonathan Kuminga and his impact on the Hawks in 3 games. First of all, we've won all 3 games that Kuminga has been a part of by over 25 points. Granted, they were against the Wizards and Trailblazers. However, there is incredible progress that we have made. Let's start with the wins themselves. Obviously, big wins, 119 to 98 over the Wizards, then 126 to 96 over the Wizards, and last night, 135 to 101 over the Portland Trailblazers. And I know what you're saying, JoJo, it's the Wizards, they're tanking, it's Portland, they're not very good, they don't like Damian Lillard healthy. But think about it this way. The Hawks weren't beating up on teams like that before. In fact, a pretty healthy Hawks team got their brakes blown off by Washington. Earlier in the season, we lost to Portland before. Atlanta was not playing these below average teams and winning like playoff teams should be. They weren't doing what teams like the Pistons or the Celtics or the Thunder or Spurs are doing and really beating up on these weak opponents. And the physicality they played with was incredible. Now, if you've been watching the Hawks this year, you'll know the biggest problem that the Hawks have had has been very simple. We have not been physical or had any presence on defense, really. The whole Kristaps Porzingis left was huge, and Onyeka Okongwu is great, but ultimately our defense was lacking in that oomph that it needs to have. And so when Jonathan Kuminga was traded, Jonathan Kuminga came in for Kristaps Porzingis and Gabe Vincent. I thought, you know, great, more forwards, that's gonna help, but it has. Kuminga has come in, and it feels like he has kicked the juice into this Hawks team. All of a sudden, we're playing with such physicality on defense, and even against these slightly weaker teams like Washington and Portland, we are just dominating them on both sides of the court on all 4 quarters for the entire game in a way we haven't done to really anyone. The physicality, especially 3 games in a row, especially stringing these back-to-back dominant performances, is something the Hawks haven't been doing at all this year. If you look at Kuminga's stats himself, he had 27 points in his debut against the Wizards, 17 points in the second game against the Wizards, and last night 20 points against Portland, and 7 rebounds in 2 of those games, 9 in one of those. He's got some nice assist numbers. He even got a couple of blocks and some steals. He has been forcing turnovers. He has just been a complete all-around player, and you see him going up for these incredible dunks. Even last night against Portland, some absolute posters he's been putting up, and he's just been getting the juice into the crowd at State Farm Arena. He's been having a smile on his face. He's been coming in, and he's just been kicking some life into the Hawks, and that was so desperately needed in Atlanta. And now the Hawks have clawed their way back to 31-31. We're at 500 and have one of the easiest schedules in March. We're going over to Milwaukee, a team that's been struggling as well, Wednesday night. If we can win then, we then have games at home, another stretch of games at home, hosting the 76ers, who we've been playing very well all season, the Mavericks, the Nets, the Bucks, the Magic. That's a homestand then, and then traveling to the Mavericks and to the Rockets before hosting the Wizards and Grizzlies. So a lot of winnable games and a big home stretch, and Atlanta hasn't been able to defend home court very well this year so far. I think we're 13-16 at home, but we've strung together 4 straight wins at home, 3 of which were in dominant fashion, and we have a bunch of below average and very beatable teams coming up in the next 6 games. And I mean, if there's ever a time for a playoff push and for us to try and claw our way into that 6th seed, that starts now. But more importantly, and most importantly, Kuminga has just kicked life into this team and has given me something that I haven't really fully felt as a Hawks fan since November, and that is hope. We have won 4 straight games. We're going into a very winnable game in Milwaukee on Wednesday night, and then another homestand against beatable teams. We are playing with physicality on defense. We're getting back in transition. We're forcing turnovers. We're getting these poster dunks from Kuminga. Onyeka Okongwu was on fire last night from the free-point line. We're going to have Jalen Johnson and Kuminga on the court together eventually, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker there too. Things may be looking up for the Hawks. I like what I'm seeing. But let me know below, what do you think of Kuminga's first couple games in Atlanta? How do you think the Hawks are going to fare in this next run of games? Do you think that the playoff push starts now? I mean, I pray to God it does. Let me know all that below, and thanks for watching the end of the video. My name's Jojo, I'm the host of Glenwood Games. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, turn on the notifications so you never miss one of my rants on the internet. And have a great rest of y'all week, rest of y'all day. Go Hawks, and have a good one, man.